Hello, everybody. Welcome to the presentation. I'm excited to be speaking at the first Minority Copywriter Summit as a straight white conservative Christian male. Life's been hard for the past several years. So cheers to Nabil for putting this together. I know there's going to be a lot of good talks on the copy side, on the business side, stuff like that. So I've known Nabil for several years. We've never met in person because we live on different continents, but we've kind of interacted over the years. And I thought it'd be really fun to do this. So my talk is going to be geared more towards people who have just started out or people who are starting out on exactly what you see on the screen, how to get your first or next copywriting client. I've been doing this since about over 10 years. I started in 2012, something like that. So live in Idaho, and as you saw in the emails, I am also a Idaho state senator. So the cool thing about working for yourself remotely is, again, I'm going to be speaking more to the business side, how to get clients. But the cool thing about working remotely is you're working remotely. You get to make your own schedule. If you have a client getting business model and you work for clients, they can pay you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. You only need a handful of those to do pretty well. So I've been in-house, out-of-house, freelance, everything. And in the beginning, the copywriting wasn't so much the difficult part. As far as what was difficult to learn, it was the business side and how do you get clients and how do you sell yourself. And now I've gotten pretty good at it where I just get mostly referrals and I don't even really need to do this. In fact, what I'm about to show you, I haven't done for quite a while, but I did it a couple years ago. I believe it was 2022. I did it once and got a really good client off it that's paid me a lot of money since then on a regular basis. So anyway, let's get into it. How to get your first or next copywriting client. This is what I would do if I had nothing, if I've never been paid before, if you've never been paid before. If you know how to write copy, this is your next step. What do you do with it? How do you make money off of it? So you can go check out my stuff at my website here if you want also. I don't have really anything to sell you though, but if you want to see what I'm doing and how I position myself, this helps. I'm literally just going to go through my notes. This is like the most least polished talk you might see today, but I'm just going to screen record myself and go through my notes. Let me show you, like I said, the cool part. I do copywriting. I've been doing this for a while. I'm in my home office. I have my own office here, but I'm also a part-time state senator. So let me show you a really quick video clip of that here so you can see the freedom the copywriting business allows me, that I can go off and do other things like be a state senator. So I'm going to find a clip of me debating a bill on the floor here and pipe it into the video.
Mr. President.
Senator Lenney.
To debate the bill.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. So a lot has been said in here already about the intentions of the bill, and I would venture to say that probably none of us are okay with children accessing this type of material online. But while the intention is admirable, the solution, again, we get the problem right. I believe this bill gets the solution wrong, because putting a government mandated filter on a cell phone is not a viable solution. Because at the end of the day, this bill, I don't think it really does anything. Think about if you're trying to walk down a sidewalk and someone puts a cone in front of you. It doesn't really, you just walk around it. It doesn't do anything, doesn't impede your movement. You just walk around it. The senator from 24 talked about, she read from an article put out in August 2023 by Pornhub, where they said they support this type of legislation that targets the device. But they said what they don't like is legislation in Virginia, Mississippi, Utah, Louisiana, because those states have introduced legislation that actually causes Pornhub to withdraw from their state. It actually solves a problem. And I mean, Pornhub being for this, I think we know why they're for it, because they know that it will allow them to continue to operate. So imagine holding car manufacturers responsible for every accident or gun manufacturers responsible for every shooting. It's not the right approach, and we don't have the right to force private industries to do this type of thing. And we cannot and should not punish the makers of tools for how people choose to use them, which is what this bill does. And I believe it's a road we have really no right to go down. Thank you.
Pretty wild, right? It's when I watch clips like that, it feels like I'm watching someone else. But I've been a state senator since 2022 in Idaho, and at the time of me making this, 2024, I still am. So depending on when you watch this, who knows where I'll be. But let me preface these things here by saying what I'm about to show you on how to get your first client or your next client, it's just a numbers game, and it's an action game. And if you're not willing to do the work, this will not work for you. If you're not willing to sit there and grind, this will not work for you. But if you are, I don't want to say I guarantee or I promise, but I do want to say I guarantee or promise it will work for you if you do what I'm about to show you. As you can see here in my little introduction, because doing nothing guarantees failure. So let me tell you really briefly, don't skip ahead of my notes here, you cheaters. Let me tell you really briefly what I did the first time I got my first client. I didn't really have this strategy, but I kind of did. I just pulled it kind of out of my ass. And I got my first copywriting gig. I cold emailed a marketing agency in New York. I said, hey, I'm a copywriter and I need money, and you guys seem like you have money. And my very first gig, like 12 years ago or whatever, was $1,800 to write a bunch of SEO blogs, which I don't even do anymore because I just do direct response right now. But this worked, and then it worked again and again, and then those people started giving me referrals. And so basically this will work, and then at some point, if you're good at copywriting and selling yourself, you won't need to do this anymore because the referrals kick in, and you'll start getting referrals and then referrals and then referrals, and you won't need to do this. But if you're stuck or if you're just starting out, I recommend this. So getting started, so you guys aren't cheating, and I'll give you all these notes afterwards, by the way. I'll give you email templates, my contract template, which I'm going to go over later. I'll give you all the notes for all of this, so you don't really need to take notes, but you can if you want to. So getting started, first of all, you have to find problems you can solve. When I started 12 years ago, no one told me this, and I was just kind of winging it. But like a lot of new things, you might wing it. You have to find a problem you can solve, and you have to present yourself as a trusted advisor who can solve their problem. You are not a writer. Like I said, this is about being a trusted advisor who can solve their problems. Because here's the problem with positioning yourself as a copywriter. When you position yourself as a copywriter, most people say what? Well, I can write. Why should I pay you to write? Well, I can write. Well, my niece can write. My niece is 16 years old. She can write a sales page or a VSL or some. You want me to pay you a couple $100 to write an email? Are you crazy? So you don't position yourself as a copywriter. You position yourself as a problem solver who happens to be really good at copywriting. I didn't learn that for years. But once I learned it, my income took a significant leap. I started off doing content, and then I got into just generic copywriting, like SaaS copywriting, like software as a service. Then I went into direct response, particularly in the financial niche. And now I'm kind of bridging the gap between the financial niche, and I'm doing a lot of political stuff for conservative organizations. I do a lot of postal and direct mail. You know, if you're good at what you do, you're going to evolve, and you're going to keep breaking through barriers. So you are a problem solver. So what you want to do, you want to look for a profitable niche. I would suggest health, wealth, or relationships. You have to find a space with money, because it doesn't matter if there's a problem you can solve with marketing or copywriting if they don't have any money. And that's a whole nother video. How do you know if someone's spending money? You can go look at their ad spend. You can go look at how many ads they're running. if someone has a crap load of impressions on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and they're running paid ads on, native and display on Yahoo and Google and YouTube, if you see them all over the place and you see the views and the impressions are huge, they're spending a lot of money. That's the kind of people you want. I would suggest health, supplements, vitamins, anything to do with health, wealth, which is financial stuff, which is where I feel very comfortable, particularly around stock markets. I've worked with the top financial copywriters on the planet. I've written about penny stocks, options, like every kind of stock you could think about, every kind of stock trading, stock market strategy you can think about. If you're good at it, there's money. There was a lot more money before President Biden got in, who's not president. I just called him a president. Fake President Biden got in. There's a lot more money in financial before Biden got in and kind of tanked the industry. So now it's a little more tough. But real estate, investing, that kind of stuff. And relationships. That's the one thing I haven't really touched, but there's a lot of guys who do, like, it could be how to be a better dad, how to be a better husband, how to pick up chicks, how to make sure whatever, anything that involves relationships. Health, wealth, and relationships in direct response, that's where the money's at. Choose something you know and leverage your expertise. I'm getting all ADD on you guys, but that's what's going to happen a lot here. Choose what you know. So it has to be someone who's spending money. You can tell they're spending money online by researching and seeing their impressions, and wow, they're everywhere. Choose something that you know, but you don't have to know it, but it helps if you do. And leverage your expertise. You are a trusted advisor. Think of yourself as, what's Batman's butler's name? Alfred? You're Alfred and you're helping out Batman. The client is the hero and you just come alongside them and solve their problems. But don't sell it if you can't solve it. Don't take someone's money. So many people do this in online marketing. Don't take someone's money if you can't actually solve their problem, or if you never have solved their problem before, or a problem like theirs. So don't say, yeah, I'll write you a sales page or a 45-minute VSL that's an interview between a stock guru and whatever. Don't say you can do it if you've never done it. A, you're going to look like an idiot. B, you will build a bad name for yourself, because people in copywriting talk, and if you sell yourself and if you sell your solution to someone and you can't solve it, they're going to tell everyone they know never to hire you. So that's why I said this video presupposes you're already good or at least decent at copywriting, and now you're trying to make money. So you find those people with the problems. I'm going to show you how to do that, or one way to do it. You pitch them a solution, rinse and repeat. You have to be where the decision makers are. For some niches, that's LinkedIn. For some people, it's Yahoo Finance. For some people, there's Facebook groups. For some people, you have to find where they're hanging out with the decision makers. Where are the decision makers hanging out online? And you have to go be where they are. So these are different groups and chats, Telegram, Signal. It's weird in the financial industry, everyone's still on Skype. So like, you have to, if you're in like supplements, or you're a health guru, where are all the health guru people hanging out? Are they on Instagram? You have to find where they're at, and you have to go where they are and hang out where they are. Chat rooms, groups, Facebook groups, whatever it is, in person. If you know where these people are hanging out in person, but I've never really got a client in person. But again, I'm going to show you how to do some of this. Also, conferences, man, you can get a lot of clients at conferences. If you go to a specific conference and you have this stuff dialed in, you can make a lot of deals at conferences. But I digress. You might be saying, well, if I've never done it before, I don't feel very confident. If I've never done this before, how am I supposed to sell myself? You don't have to be the world's greatest. See, look, even I have a typo here, but these are just kind of notes I wrote up randomly. You just need to be further down the road than they are, okay? To get paid money to solve a problem for a potential client, you don't have to be the greatest. You just have to be further down the road than they are. If they're here, you just have to be here. You just have to know more than they know. Or sometimes, this is really cool, one of my best paying clients I ever got, I worked with them for 4 years. They were pretty good at what they did, but they just didn't have the time. So you're going to run into that too, particularly with CEOs of startups or new businesses. They might be really good at what they do, but they just don't have the time to do it. They don't have the time. So they'll pay you because you're taking something off their plate. Yeah, they can solve the problem, but they don't have time and they'd rather pay you to solve the problem. So hopefully this makes sense. You are Alfred, the client is Batman. You come alongside them and solve their problems. You don't need to be the best. You don't even need to have ever written copy for money for this to work. Like I said, my first client I got years and over a decade ago, I got $1,800 for my very first paid project. And that first year as a copywriter, I made $43,000. It's not a lot of money, I guess, depending on where you are, but I made $43,000 and I just had no idea what I was doing. And year by year, I've gotten better and better and made more and more. As you refine this, it'll work out. So here's what you want to do when so now that I've kind of laid the groundwork, what I usually do is I make a hit list. So like it says here, hit list creation. I make a hit list, which means I write down, I literally open Google Docs and I write down every single company and person I want to work with, or I think I might want to work with. I'll write down like company A, company B, this guru, this guy, this guy, this guy. I'll make a hit list. Man, in a perfect world, I'd love to work with these like 20 or 30 people or 50 people, whatever it is. And these are people who you know are making money and spending money on advertising, because if they're not spending money on advertising, you don't want to work with them because they have no money to pay you. It doesn't matter. Think about people like Russell Brunson. ClickFunnels, they just run like 1 million new ads every week. They're spending money on advertising, testing, they're holding conferences. People like that, you know they're spending money, you know they have money, and if they have a problem you can solve, you want to go after them. So make your hit list, like I just number it out. Boom, 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 boom. Here's the people I want to work with. And then you want to reach out to these people. It's cold. This is a cold reach out strategy, but it's worked for me so many times over the years. So you kind of have and again, I'm going to show you kind of an example of this. You have the groundwork, right? You make your hit list. Here's 30 people. Just make it 50. Here's 50 people I want to work with. You're not going to work with 50 of them or even most of them, but all you need is a couple of them to start getting paid, and that will snowball into other things and other projects. They'll refer, if you're good and you solve their problem, they will refer you to their friends and refer their friends to you. Like I said, it snowballs. Here's an example of some niches with money. Like I said, health, wealth, and relationships, weight loss, fitness, natural remedies, mental health, anti-aging, nutrition, wealth. This is where I've kind of lived for the last several years. Investing, stock market, crypto, real estate, online marketing, personal finance, budgeting, e-com, drop shipping, freelancing, side hustles, and relationships, dating, relationships, parenting, pet care, self-improvement, career development. There's a lot of money to be made in health, wealth, and relationships. I would even put, I don't know where this would fit, but a huge niche right now that's just crushing, I'll just put it under survival, even though it's not really wealth, is the survival niche. Like solar generators and water purification. Dude, you can make so much money in that, especially if you're a straight white conservative Christian male like I am at the Minority Copywriter Summit, which is awesome, by the way. So those are some niches. It's self-explanatory. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Like I said, I just wrote down all this stuff and I'm just going through it in real time. We're just doing it live here. So I already got ahead of myself. My first year I made $43,000. And like I already also said, more experience leads to more confidence. And when you're confident, people can it just drips off. And I'm not talking about arrogant. I'm talking about confident. When you are talking to a client on a Zoom call or a potential client or over the phone or whatever it is, they know if you're full of shit or not. And when you're confident, that creates so many more opportunities for you. But you don't get confident until you get the experience. So you get the experience, your confidence will slowly build, and then your opportunities will build, and you'll never even need to do this again. Seizing opportunities, you also have to have, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk through my statement of work. So once I find a potential client, once I talk to them on the phone, and pitch them, they say, oh, send me a proposal. Cool, we had our conversation. We went over some things. Well, send me your proposal. I'm going to show you my proposal, and I'll share the link with you so you can use it and kind of modify it for yourself as well. So this is about seizing opportunities. The types of copywriting you can make fast money with are right here. They're emails. Emails, you can write an email in like I've written really profitable emails for myself and for clients in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on what it is. Like emails do not take a lot of time if you know how to write them. But again, this is not a copywriting course. This is a course on how to get paid. But emails are quick money, fast money. Hey, cool. Someone wants a 8 email AR sequence. You tell them it's whatever, $400 an email. What's that? 4 times, there's $3,200, $3,200. You could do it you could write 8 emails in like an hour, easy, less than an hour, if you know what you're doing. So pay attention to some of the other guys on here. Hopefully someone teaches you how to write emails if you don't already know. But emails are fast. Audits are fast. I've gotten paid to do copywriting audits where I don't actually write new copy. It's so easy. Again, if you're good at copywriting and marketing and conversion rate optimization, these are skills you need to pursue. Conversion rate optimization, direct response copywriting, marketing. If you're good at these things, you can pay someone for an audit. Like, hey, I've gotten paid to audit sales pages where I just go through a sales page that already exists, tell them everything that sucks about it, tell them what I would change or fix or suggest. And I haven't done that in a while, but you could make like $1,000, $2,000, whatever. It depends on how long the page is, but you can audit a landing page. You just make a video like I'm making now, and you say, hey, I'll audit your landing page for like $2,000. Cool. Again, if they have money and they're interested in making more money, they're going to pay you $2,000 or whatever to audit. And this isn't a pricing guide. I'm just kind of throwing numbers out. And you could just make a 20-minute video auditing their landing page. Cool, you made $2,000 in like 20 minutes. VSLs, video sales letters, are huge in direct response. Landing pages, Facebook, Google ads. You could do full funnel optimization. You can write full funnels, do full funnels. These are all the types of problems you can solve for people. If their landing page sucks, whatever. And on the other side, I think I said you get referrals. We already talked about that. You get to say no to people. Once you get good at copywriting and what you're doing, you're going to get to tell people no. And you're going to be able to sniff them out instantly. This person will be a nightmare to work with, or this will be a dream client. You'll be able to sniff them out instantly. And again, I'm going to get to the method. I'm just laying the groundwork. But the groundwork is important here. But on the other side, meaning when you're a getting paid remote copywriter, you get referrals, you get to say no to people, you get to choose who you want to work with, if they're going to be a nightmare or a dream client. And I always suggest charging more than you might feel comfortable with. Because if you know you can solve their problem and that they have money, once you're confident, you can charge a little bit more than you feel comfortable with. And a lot of people, you'll be surprised, will just bite. So here's how you do it. So that's the why, here's the how. Finding clients fast. Like I said, there's no overtime for this. It just you might want to buy a subscription to Loom. That's how I'm making this screen record video we're on here. But there's no overhead to this. It just takes your time, right? It just takes time. what you want to do in a nutshell is you want to, here's what I suggest doing, unless it's people you know. I use Facebook ads library to find ads or prospects, like to look at ads, and I find someone like, wow, this ad could use some work, or the landing page, or both, or the full funnel, or maybe they have a VSL on Facebook that sucks, and you just say, whoa, I know I could write a better VSL than that. That's what you're doing. You're looking for opportunities on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google. You find opportunities, and then you reach out to these people and you basically say, hey, I'm the guy who can solve your problem. Like I said here, you reach out to people who are running ads and spending money. You investigate their marketing methods, spot the areas you can improve, take notes. You can opt in. So it says burner account here. Use a separate account for opt-ins and research. So when you're researching clients, and again, we're going to go through it here in a second. I have a burner account. Let me actually pull it up for you here. So here we go. I logged into my burner account. So you log in to people's offers. You sign up for their offer on their landing page, and then they'll be like, hey, thanks. And then you'll be in their funnel, and you can see all the emails they're sending, all the offers they're sending. This is one of my 1,000 burner accounts here. As you can see, there's 45,000 messages in here. And there's different people I save. You'll see like Grant Cardone. There's different people I save over here whose emails I like sometimes. But these are all offers you can use to be like, well, look what Robert Kiyosaki's sending out. Look what so-and-so's sending out. Look what, you can see their offers. You can click through their stuff and do your research. So that's what that does. But like I said, you get a burner account, you sign up for their stuff. So you have to do research is what I'm saying. You have to find people with problems you can solve. And then once you find someone with a problem you can solve, you reach out to the decision maker, not to customer service, not to their support. You find out who the decision maker is, and you reach out to them. If you don't know how to do that, I don't know how to help you. I mean, I know how to help you, but typically if you can't find who the CMO or the CEO is, someone like a C-level, the founder, the president, you can find them on LinkedIn, on the website. If you can't get a hold of their email address, you have other problems, because it's not that difficult to do in 2024. So you find people, you find the decision maker, and you reach out to them. So let me pause here, and I'm going to show you a problem I found. I'm going to show you the problem, then we'll go to what it looks like when you actually reach out to them, right? So Facebook ads library is a great place to look for people with clients. You just type in their ad category or the name here, and it'll pull up. So one of the ones I found is I360. Now, I360, let me move this thing out of the way here, is in the political niche. And check this out. So I360, they're a software company, and they give you marketing data for political elections. So if there's a company, so you can find people in the ad library for different topics, but if there's a company you know, you can go to their Facebook page, click About, go to Page Transparency, hit See All, and you can see if they're running ads. Look, this page is currently running ads. Then you go to the ads library, guess what? You get to see all the ads they're running and all the ads they ever have run, right? So check this out, January 2024. They're not running these ads anymore. See how it says inactive? What ads are active? Well, it doesn't matter, because if there's active or inactive, let's see what this ad is. So you hit, oops, that goes to the actual landing page. Let's see summary. Here we go. See ad details. So you can see, look at, they had 3,000 to 4,000 impressions on this. Oh man, look at this. Oh, 1 million people saw this. They had 40 to 45,000 impressions on that ad. 60, see what I mean here? 60 to 70,000 impressions on this ad. So this is what I was talking about. They're spending money on ads. So let's see what this ad is. 60 to 70,000 impressions on this ad. Let me move my stupid face out of the way. I360 has been battle tested by campaigns and party organizations at every level. Our victories speak for themselves. Read the case study. Oakland County Republican Party, driving event turnout. Kind of a weird, it's kind of a weird thing to send someone to a case study. Get started today. That doesn't make any sense. Get started today goes to the same page. This is a weird ad. Let's see what else they got. Hold on here. What's this one do? See ad details. I360, the ultimate voter intelligence platform. Canvassing made easier. Then they have all these pictures. Learn more. Get started. Learn more. Learn more. So you can look at their landing page. I'm kind of obviously doing this in real time. What's this one? Reach the voters you need wherever they are. Learn more. Okay, here's like an opt-in page that looks, speak with our team. Tell us about your challenges. So this page needs a lot of help. You can just tell, right? So here's what you can do. I said you find someone who you can solve their problem. In this case, I think this landing page kind of needs some help. And then I go find the decision maker at this company through LinkedIn or researching their website. And then you make a video telling them about how you can solve their problem. You reach out to them in email and you say, hey, where was that last page we had open? Here we go. You say, hey, Mr. CEO or CMO guy, I noticed I was looking at your Facebook ad and your landing page, and I saw something, I saw some ways to make it better, and I made a video. Can I share it with you, or would you like to see it? That's all you're doing. There's two ways to do it. You can make the video and send it to them, or you can send the email and only make it after they reply to you. Let me show you some examples of that. So I'll give you the link to these emails. There's 1,000 ways to do this. Subject line, your site. Someone's going to open that. If you get this in front of the right person, yo, Bill, or whatever, whoever's the name is, whoever the person's name is. Let's do this one. Let me write a whole new one here. Your site. I'm just going to write this here. Let me pause it while I'm writing it, but it'll only take me a couple seconds. So something like this, super short, super informal. These are busy people right there. See, I can't even spell subject right. These are CEOs, CMOs. Hey, Bill. So you got to find who this guy is, right? I saw your Facebook lead gen ad and Lander today, and I made a short little video for you on how to make them both better. Want to see it? Let me know. Brian, mycopywriterguy.com. I put the website down there because it kind of is a subtle way of them being like, if they click on it, they'll be like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about, and he does all the things, and look at all these, so it's kind of a way of telling them who you are without telling them who you are. That's one way to do it. Here's this one. This is a real email. I forgot. This was from years ago. So I met this guy at this shooting training, weapons training thing. And and his website was awful. So I did this for him and it actually worked. I said, yo, first name. This is like literally what I wrote the guy. I met you at Name's Pistol Combatives course in Utah, where you and the dude who ran the range almost threw down, haha, because him and the dude who ran the shooting range almost got in a fight. So he knows, cool, this guy was at my shooting class, at my Pistol Combatives course. I'm a marketer, and I wrote this years ago. I would probably make this even simpler. I'm a marketer and I was looking at your site and had some suggestions on how to get more people contacting you for training. I made a quick video about it. Want to see it? That turned into paid work. That email turned into paid work. He said, dude, yes, awesome. Show me the video. I made him the video. He hired me. Problem solved, right? Here's one that's a lot more context. Why is subject line misspelled in all of these? Your site regarding lost revenue. Dude, they're going to open this. They're going to open this if you get it in front of the right person. Hey, first name, I was looking at your website and got to tell you, I love what you're doing to advance the cause of freedom in the USA. This is one I would suggest maybe sending to, this was just a sample email for like a conservative political organization, because I work with conservative political organizations. But I saw, basically, hey, I was looking at your website. I love what you're doing, but I saw some big opportunities to recoup some lost revenue too. Let me explain. Because besides being an Idaho state senator myself, I'm also a direct response marketer. And when I clicked on one of your ads, I noticed some things you can do for sure to improve on to generate more leads, close more deals, and stack more cash. So I made a quick video about it. Check it out. Then I'll add the link here. I make a video just like this one on Loom. This is another way to do it. You make the video and you send it, or you do the teaser method and you say, hey man, I made you a video. You want to see it? Want to see it? So these are just examples. I would make all of these emails better. These are examples I just kind of wrote down the other day. If you want to talk shop on any of this, you know where to find me. Keep kicking ass. Cheers, Brian. P.S. If you'd like, you can take a look at my website to learn more about what I do and how I can help. This was a fake one. I just kind of made it up. This was actually a real email I wrote that turned into a lot of money. And this was a warm outreach email. And again, I'm going to give you these templates. See, look, you don't have to be good at copywriting to do this. I can't even spell subject line. I literally sent this email and it turned into so far over $100,000 worth of work. And this was to someone I'd worked with years and years and years ago. So I kind of knew them and they kind of knew me. And a couple years ago, I found myself in a bind and I sent this email and then they said, dude, you're hired. Well, this was unexpected regarding December, January. This is the actual email I sent. Hey, first name. Obviously, I changed the names and stuff to protect the people. Long time no talk. Hope all is well with you. Listen, I have a favor to ask. I found myself in a bit of a pickle. 2 projects I was expecting to start in December fell through, and now my December/January slot is entirely open. Would you mind keeping an ear out for people who are looking for copywriters/marketing managers? Or better yet, are there 3 people right now who you think I should be introduced to regardless? So you're asking them for their contacts. You would receive your referral fee for any business that comes out of this course. They don't even want a referral fee. Most people either. If you send this, no one ever asks for a referral fee, but it just makes you look better. I mean, do it. If they ask for it, do it. I said some of the things you can say about me from recent projects include wrote copy and content that was used to grow a leading SaaS company from 60,000 to over 120,000 users, 100% increase in less than a year. Wrote, copy, and executed conversion rate optimization tactics to help grow a first-year startup from 3.3 to 5 million ARR in 1 year, a 51% increase. Developed, wrote, and managed 7-figure funnels. For example, a $7.3 million funnel, a $7.3 million revenue in 2 years, and $3 million plus revenue in 2 years. So these are 2 funnels I did. Again, you're just basically showing your street cred. This could be whatever. As well as multiple six-figure funnels, promotions, and campaigns. Wrote an email indoctrination series that took a service from 45 paid subscribers to well over 3,000 in 3 months, a 566% increase. Or you can refer them to my website here where they'll see testimonials and all the proof. Notice on my website, if you guys want to steal from this too, I have this page up here that says proof. These are all like different people I've worked with founder of HubSpot, Banyan Hill, State Freedom Caucus Network. This guy worked at Harvard. And these are just like different things people have said about me, but you can also see on my homepage different clients and stuff I've worked with. Let me know. Thank you. I appreciate you. Cheers, Brian Lenney. P.S. I appreciate any lead you send my way, but recently I did an analysis of all my work over the last 3 years, and the projects where I did the best in, highest revenue, greatest conversions, tend to be financial newsletters, personal finance how-to programs, legitimate business opportunities, not internet marketing, self-help how-to programs and courses, health supplements, conservative political copy, health how-to programs and courses. Postscript, not being extra braggy here, but you know about, and this is, so because I knew this person, this was like a warm outreach, but I didn't know them that well. But we'd worked together on projects. I said, not being extra braggy here, but you know about my professionalism from our work in the past on blank, on the project I did with them in the past. So you can trust that whoever you send over will be treated well, and that your reputation will also be safeguarded. I've worked with 8 to 9 figure companies like the Agora Companies, Stocks to Trade, and HubSpot. They all have nice things to say about me. Let me see if I can find the reply email I got just to show you what was sent, the response he gave me to this email. Give me a sec here. I can't find it. This was several years ago, but basically he said, hey, not only do I love this email, I do need someone to do, I ended up doing a lot of emails and landing pages and sales pages for them. I need someone just like you. Let's get on the phone and talk. And then we talked. So I didn't make them a video. This was just another like, hey, this was a, hey, I'm in a bind email. This was, hey, there's a video, here's the video. And this one turned into paid work. This turned into a lot of paid work. This email, sample number 3, that was just a warm outreach. And this one is like, hey, you want to, this is what I would send something like this to the i360. So here's what happens. Where am I at on my notes here? You use Loom for the video pitch, and you want to have your face on here to make a human connection, right? You say their name, you identify the problem, and you propose a solution. You be direct and concise in your pitch, unlike I'm doing right now on this summit. I'm all over the place getting my ADD on, but you know, I'm a minority, so cut me some slack. And I'm going to give you all my notes and everything, but when you're doing the pitch, you just make like a less than 5-minute video for them. And the video would be something like this. And again, you're not desperate for work and you don't ask for work. So once you reach out to them, you identify a problem you can solve. Like this landing page I think is not so great, but I identified a problem I can solve optimizing this landing page. Then I make a video, and the video would go something like this. Let's just do a mock video here. Pretend that we're brand new. Hey, Bill, thanks for requesting to see this video. So I was looking at some of your ads, and I noticed this ad here, and I was kind of clicking around because I use i360 in my political campaign. I'm also happen to be a state senator. And I got on this landing page, and I just noticed there's a lot you can do here, but because I like what you guys are doing, and I know you want to get more conversions and get more people using i360, I wanted to suggest a couple of things here that you could do. So for a dedicated landing page, one thing you don't want to have is all these logos at the top, because obviously we want to give people one thing to do. So right now they can they can go all over the place. They can click all these links. So they can click get started. They can get lost on your all over the page. What if they click on your Facebook? So you want to eliminate distractions. So one thing I would do is eliminate the menu at the top and eliminate all of that. And I would make this link not clickable. So the i360 logo, you don't want that to be clickable because you don't want people going to your homepage. You want people to fill out the form. So see how at the top I eliminated all the distractions? That makes them focus on the page. We only want them to do one thing. The first thing I see is speak with our team. That's not very, that doesn't really hook me, right? That's not going to make, that's like, it's kind of underwhelming. So one thing I would do is make this a headline. I would take away get started. That's kind of odd there, but I would just make this a headline, like something benefit driven. 1 second here. So just something like this. Again, I would play with it. I think this might look better in sentence case, but it's something that's just more benefit driven. Reach the voters you need wherever they are, because this is what the ad said that they clicked on. So to have that kind of message match, I would make this smaller so it fits on 2 lines. But again, I'm just making a kind of quick video. I would play with and test several different headline combinations. But you see, if they click on an ad that says, reach the voters you need wherever they are, and then they get on the landing page and it says, reach the voters you need wherever they are, that has that message match and that ad sent. Then there's no distractions at the top. You don't want them, like, this is kind of a weird, these are just kind of unnecessary, I think. You don't want them emailing technical support. I would put a picture here. So I would delete that stuff and put a picture below of like someone door knocking with the i360 app. Something like that shows a happy user using i360, like someone with a phone, like, oh, this is the house. Something like that. Tell us about your challenges and we'll be in touch shortly. So I would make these points a lot more specific here. Get pricing information. See, it's just kind of bland. But I would make these a lot more sexy. I would experiment with the subhead. They have the happy picture underneath. There's something you can do with the form over here. It's kind of intimidating with all these form fields. I would also test, see if you could do a multi-step form. So it's like a yes or no question, a short, slightly longer question. And then it's a form with several steps instead of everything all at once here, because it's kind of intimidating, like I said. There's some things you can test there. And then I would also eliminate all of these distractions at the bottom unless you need it for, see how much cleaner that looks? So unless you need it for, compliance, like your privacy policy and stuff. I know like Facebook usually likes to have a privacy policy and an About Us page. I would maybe add those links, but don't have anything on the page. Because look, now if someone clicks on this page, say there's a picture right here, the only thing they can do is fill out the form and hit submit. Whereas before, it's a benefit-driven headline. Again, I'd test several variations of this, but as before, look at all the stuff they can do. Speak with our team. It's kind of underwhelming. There's all this stuff they can click on. What if they click on Customer Plus? What if they click on Facebook? And then you lost your lead. So anyway, that's just some things I noticed on your landing page on how you can increase this page. I would have some ideas for some ad copy and ad creative over here as well. So I thought I'd make this short little video for you. Hopefully this helps you out. Thanks. And that's the video. I would have stopped it there and sent it. Notice I did not ask them to hire me. I did not, because usually one of 2 things happens. Sometimes 3 things. Usually, if you send them the video, they're going to watch it. And if you don't, say you send it to maybe the marketing manager or whoever, they're gonna send it to someone else. But that's why I said you want to go for like the CMO, or even better, the CEO, because the CEO says, he gets this video and he says, I don't want to watch this shit. Hey, CMO, watch this video and do what this guy says. So the CEO hands it to the right person for you. So I always like going for a founder or a president or a CEO. They watch the video, and the things that are going to happen after they watch this video, they're going to say either, they're going to say, thanks for the video. We'll check it out, and you'll never hear from them again. They're going to say, thanks for the video. Can I hire you to do this? Or they're going to say, hey, thanks for the video. We got a guy who can fix this. Appreciate it. So obviously, like I said, it's a numbers game. Not everyone's going to hire you, but you don't want to sound desperate. You're the boss, right? You're a person who can solve their problem. You send them just a short little email like this. And this email even kind of sucks, but I just wrote it while we were talking. But this is fine. Like I saw your Facebook lead gen ad. I was on Facebook and I saw one of your ads and I checked out the landing page and I noticed some ways you can make them better. You want to see it? You just send them a short little outreach email. You make a video like the one I just kind of mock made for you, and you see what they say, and you do it. If you have no money and no business, this is the best way to get clients or get your next client. And if you just make yourself do 3 of these a day, if you have nothing else to do, that's 15 a day. I think I put this in the notes here, right? 3 a day, 15 a week, 60 a month. You think out of 60 videos, you're not going to get some bites? People might hire you for a retainer deal. I've had that happen. I've had people hire me for one-time projects, and I had one guy actually trade me. He had a really cool service. So I said, dude, I'll trade. He actually suggested it. He said, what if I just give you some of my product/service and you do this for me? And it was really cool. And I did that. But this is how you get your first client or your next client. You make the hit list. Like I said, this approach works fast. It's easy and actionable. I know a guy who did this, who wrote really well, and he made his client $40,000 on one email. He wrote them one email, and that email made the client $40,000. You think they didn't hire him again? And like I said here, it works if you work it, and it won't if you don't. So you're finding problems. You can find problems on Google. You can go to Yahoo Finance. This is where I spend a lot of time. Look at this. You can go to Yahoo Finance. You look for ads because they say ad. See, look, Amazon left scrambling as Prime members find out about ... Motley Fool has a ton of ads. Get your iPhone with our best deals. Buying NVIDIA in 2024, Wall Street legend issues. So this is like the niche I work in. It's probably going to be an advertorial. Yep. So it's an advertorial to basically saying this guy's hey, click here to see the #1 AI stock recommendation. And then you click on it and it's like some 45-minute video. 50-year Wall Street legend issues a warning. This is the niche I live in. I've done ad to advertorial to video, but again, don't sell it if you can't solve it. So maybe you see a promo like this and you say, hey, I watched your promo on the 50-year Wall Street legend, whatever, and I found some ways you can make it better. You know what I mean? You find the problem, you find the problem, you find the go-to person, the CEO or the CMO or whatever, and you reach out to them and say, hey, I made a video. Do you want to see it? Most people will either not reply or they'll say yes. I've never had anyone reply and say no. Either they don't reply or they say, yeah, let me see the video. After you send them the video, they say, thanks, we'll take care of it. Or they'll say, hey, can I hire you to do it? But you don't want to come off desperate. You want to come off as a trusted advisor who can solve their problem. I'm going to give you some notes. I'll include them for you to look at. Facebook ads libraries here. My website's here. Use Loom to make your sample video, the email templates, how to edit any page live. This is how you know how I edit the page and how I can just like click on a page and I hit edit this page and this is a great little thing. 50-year Wall Street legend. See how you can like edit page, Wall Street guru, whatever. It helps you edit stuff on the fly and it makes you look really cool in front of potential clients. So I'll include that too. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was a sample statement of work. Here's one I did last fall of 2023, not too long ago. I took the name out, but this is how, so once you if someone says, yeah, let's work together, send me your contract, send me a statement of work, whatever, send me a proposal. This is what I've been using for years and years and years, and it works really well. So whatever this is, like summer, spring, fall, winter, whatever, partnership proposal, prepared for, and whoever the person you talk to, this is their name, Bob Smith. You put the company name and their website, prepared by Brian Lenney, Oldspeak LLC, mycopywriterguy.com. The need, company name is engaging Brian Lenney, doing business as to generate leads, optimize conversions, and increase revenue for the organization. Here's why. Company name is intensifying. So you identify their problem here. I'm not going to read this whole thing. You basically say, company name is intensifying its efforts in direct response copywriting. And after meeting with Brian, you get it. So you basically say, we're going to do business together. Here's why. Because here's the problem. Company A is doing lead gen and they suck at lead gen. The solution, So here's the key thing with this statement of work, which I will give you the link to, and you can, don't plagiarize it because people are going to find out really quickly you're full of shit. But this is the statement of work I send people. I, Brian Lenney, build funnels, write conversion-centered copy and content, and generate leads. So in the statement of work, you have to keep selling yourself because nothing is final until you have money in your freaking bank account. Until they send you a check or until they wire you money or whatever, PayPal, Venmo, whatever you use, Stripe, until you have money, nothing's final. So in the proposal, you have to continue to sell yourself. I'm being engaged by company name based on my strong history of results. Then I show them all this cool stuff I did. 6, 7, and 8-figure product launches. I acquired Fortune 500 clients, blah, blah, blah. 56% decrease in customer acquisition. Decrease? That's weird. I typed this up really fast. Increase in customer acquisition for a startup in Dallas, Texas. Wrote copy and did. So you show them all this stuff you did. And then you say, here's a sample of reactions to my work. And then you show them all these people who think you're awesome. Look at Banyan Hill. This guy was at Harvard, State Freedom Caucus Network, Citizens Alliance of Idaho, Sprout Social, whatever. You show them all these people who are like, Brian is awesome. Very few copywriters and marketers have this level of insight. Brian cuts through the noise and creates copy that converts. Convincing a skeptical audience with a strong message is something he excels at. Paints bold pictures using words and visuals that boldly command his audience attention. You'll be wowed at his ability to deliver. So you put all your testimonials and stuff. So dude, people get this proposal. They're like, here's the problem. Here's the solution. By the way, here's all these other people I've solved for. By the way, here's a bunch of people who think I'm freaking awesome. And then you say, my services. As discussed, the services I provide for this engagement will include, but may not be limited to, direct response copy and conversion rate optimization for company name. Engagement timeline. Fee summary. This one was a pitch for like $5,000 a month for a retainer. So copywriting services, $5,000 a month. Boom, boom, boom. Grand total, $5,000 a month. The above pricing is effective until 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Thursday, November 30th. So you basically say, hey, this price is good until a certain date. So again, you're not desperate. You are a trusted advisor who can solve their problem. Payment schedule, whatever you agree on. If it's a one-time project, it might be like 50% upfront and 50% when you're done, whatever it is. This one was $5,000 a month. Payment due upon receipt, payment due upon signing. So you're going to have to customize this based on when they want to start and stuff like that. This was really cool. If company name chooses to pay by credit card convenience fee. So basically you're charging them 3.5% if they're going to pay you by credit card. That's why I prefer, why does this see? This is, I copied and pasted from an invoice and some of it didn't come through. The original payment, okay, so this one is your cancellation clause. Basically, I'm not going to start working until I get the money. Next steps, to proceed with the engagement, company name will take the following steps by this date. Boom, boom, boom. So basically, I would send a PDF of this to someone with DocuSign, and I say, hey, if you like it, sign it. If you don't, let me know what you don't like, and we can talk, we can discuss things. I've never had someone change my statement of work. Everyone just says, looks great. After they sign it, so you send them the statement of work. It's very professional. You highlight yourself. It's very professional. You outline the whole thing for them. And after they sign it, then you send them an invoice. It's very professional. You want to come off as a professional. Okay? Terms and conditions. People love this. People always laugh at it and they always mention it. Your emergency does not become my emergency. I call it the pause clause. I learned this from Joanna at Copy Hackers. I was in her mastermind years ago. A lot of this I got from her anyway, years and years ago. But I have the pause clause. I've never had to use it. Basically, if someone ghosts you, you say, hey, if you just stop replying to me and you ghost me, if I haven't heard from you in 5 days, I'm not going to do shit for you until you pay me $1,000 to restart the project. Oh, but I had an emergency. It doesn't matter. Their emergency is not your emergency. You are the professional. You are confident. You are the trusted advisor. Their emergency does not become your emergency. If they ghost you, you keep the money and you're not going to even talk to them until I've never had to do it. Never had to do it. But it just, again, this statement of work makes you seem very professional. You sign it, they sign it. After everyone signs it, and use DocuSign. There's another one you can use called, I think it's called PandaDoc. PandaDoc. You can do a 14-day free trial. So you upload your PDF, and then, as you're seeing here, you can upload the PDF and you can get their signatures. It makes you look very professional. So that's it, guys. That's it. I would use PandaDoc or DocuSign for the statement of work. So once someone gets a statement of work like this from you, and it's in a PDF, it just looks, it looks very professional. Like, look, they get this from you. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. Here's why I'm a badass. Here's my services. Here's the fee we talked about. Here's the grand total. Here's the payment schedule. And this can look different you have to customize it based on whatever your thing is. So this will look different for everyone. Here's the next steps. Okay, and then they sign it in like PandaDoc or DocuSign. Then you send them an invoice. Then you're off to the races. So hopefully this stuff makes sense for you. I've been talking way too long, but I do want to thank Nabil for inviting me to the Minority Copywriting Summit as a straight white Christian conservative male in America who happens to be a Republican also. Life's hard for me, so I'm glad to be a part of this summit. And hopefully you guys learned a lot. Email me if you have questions. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned a lot from this video, and we will be in touch. See you later.